so we're ready to go. We're ready to rock and roll. We're going to be doing a lot of these. So Zach is coming back in the office. He's been out for a week, and he might be on here now. I don't know your YouTube name, Zach, Mysterious Zach, if you are on here. But we're going to start doing a lot of these. This is really fun. He wants to start doing them too. So I would love to have... what time is it? It's a good question. It's 4:57 p.m. But yeah, I used to watch... you guys, any of you guys listen to electronic music? You ever listen to Deadmau5? He's done like a ton of live streams, and I enjoyed watching that. That was fun. All right, Andy, as you were saying, my friend, is BB3 a complete code rebuild? Well, this is really interesting. So when we were building this, we thought it was going to be, but we rebuilt everything for Buildbox 2D. So it was like, my God, is it the best thing to rebuild this again? And after we started playing around with it, we realized the best way to do this is when you're on the menu editor here, and I can show you because I finally have everything working. I'm so excited. All right, so let's check this out. Now I'm going to swap over here to desktop mode for a second. All right, and let's see here. We'll just open up like the platformer demo, okay? Now, Andy, in Buildbox 3, what you'll do is you'll right click here and it will have add new 2D world or add new 3D world or add new UI, okay? And so if you click 3D world, then when you open that up, you're in 3D land and everything will be totally custom, everything that's written in there. But when you go to add a 2D world and go in there, it'll look very similar to this. It'll be slightly different. Me and Nick are fighting right now a little bit about components. So, we're removing components because, okay, let's see. So, Mr. Zombie, you still can't hear me. Mr. Zombie, hold on. Are your speakers turned on, Mr. Zombie? Because everyone else can hear me. I don't know if everyone can, Mr. Zombie. So, but I hope you can. But I don't really know how to help you. Sorry, buddy. All right, so now you have components here, right? And you click on a component like Wake Up. All right, but here's the thing. With 3.0, all right, you're going to click on Nodes. And then you'll add a component like boom, and this will be your Wake Up component. And it won't look like this, right? It's not going to look like a block. It's going to be this node. And you'll be able to, you'll be able to route like... a little line to it, all right, kind of like this. You'll be able to route a little line to it. These are nodes, okay? And this will be your wake up. But you can have a node right here that's if then. So you can be like, all right, so we start, the character moves, and then I'm going to click. Everything's going to be like the same as it is here. So it's going to be familiar. And then we'll have like this one will be your if then, okay? And then this will be your wake up, okay? So when you click on if then, you'll have all these different options and all these things that you can select. And then it will go, if it's a yes, then, it'll go to wake up. If it's a no, it won't. Okay. So yeah, exactly. So if else then is just one of the things. Now, this is how we develop, where Nick creates really cool stuff that I don't understand. Then he explains it all to me. And then I'm like, look, that's cool, but it's too complicated. Then we fight it out. And this is a big thing that we do, which is fights. We have a war room and we just battle it out in there, right? With it's like in the old office we did. And this one we have a boardroom. I know, it's kind of sucks. I like having the war room, but it had the dry erase marker paint on the whole thing, the whole entire room, except the ceiling. I got in a fight with the painter because I thought he was going to paint the ceiling. He didn't. Nick told me I was being ridiculous and I had to calm down about that. I wanted to do like the whole, you're in an insane asylum, just going crazy writing on the ceiling. And so we battle it out in the war room. And, I'm like, look, this is too complicated. And he's like, yeah, but listen, we got to make it open enough. And we fight it out and then come up with Buildbox. That's why Buildbox works. Flashy Dean, technically, Flashy Dean, you already asked me a question. By saying, can I ask you a question? You're technically doing it. But you can ask me 2 questions. You can ask me 3. I don't really care. And, all right, Mr. Zombie, Trey, with Buildbox 3.0, can you add a thing where you export it? It exports with an APK file for Android and iOS. Yes. So that's what I was talking about when I ruined the stream earlier. That's definitely something that we can do and something we've been working on, okay? Let me rephrase. That's something that we will be able to do, and we've been working on it for a very long time, okay? Now, there's a lot of different situations that this could work. We've played around with the idea of what if you could just press a button and then we have an account set up on the App Store and it just uploads it to that account automatically with your ad network stuff, so you can still monetize the game. We've played around with that. I've talked with Apple about that, and I'm not really getting an answer from them. They're not being like, yeah, dude, totally do that. Everyone should do that. Because then you have the problem that there could be like 5 billion apps in our account. That'd be a little bit weird, but I would love to do that. That would be the ultimate. That's what I've always wanted to do, because, just imagine you're in, Buildbox. Here, I can actually show you. Imagine that you're in Buildbox, and then you're like, boom, file, export, and instead of that, there's like upload. You just click a button, and then it gets all your metadata from here. We'd add a new one for screenshots, all that stuff, and then boom, upload it to the store. Now, obviously, if we did do that, we would have to have some sort of review process ourselves to make sure, and we'd have to have some limits. You can't upload more than one game a month or something like that, or a week. Obviously people would spam the store through the system, right? So that would be the ultimate. That's what I really want to do. And we've actually talked again to the powers that be about, is something like that possible? Not getting a straight answer, but I have a feeling something like that would work for a little while. Andy, I know you're on here and you have seen a lot of this review stuff. I could see that working for a little while and then causing a problem. So that's step one. That's the ultimate solution. You click a button, boom, it's done. Now, step two would be, okay, you have to sign up for a developer account. $100 a year, that sucks, right? But you have to do it. And then what you would do, hey, what's up, Cash? Oh, what's going on, man? Well, listen, you don't have to do that right now, okay? But that's awesome. Cash and is it Farah or Farah? I need to know that. I haven't talked to you guys on the phone or in person, so I don't know. But I think it's like Sarah, like Farah. But they're in Publisher Elite and made this killer game. And we're working on a publishing deal, and they're at 1 a.m. right now, working on it right now. So anyway, so the first ultimate, click a button, boom, it's done. The second ultimate situation would be you sign up with a developer account, and then you're still in here, and you're clicking on, boom, upload or something like that. And then it pops up, a pop-up would happen, and it asks you for your name and password. Now, to be 1000% clear, we wouldn't get this. I wouldn't want to even deal with that. It would be local, right? And what it would do is connect with Xcode on your computer, get your name and password, all that stuff, and then upload it would build the APK and the IPA file, all that stuff, upload it for you. Okay, that's the second thing. Now, the third thing would be just the part where it connects to Xcode in Eclipse or whatever we're using for Android Studio, whatever, and then export on your computer. That would be the third. So that's the three ways. We've thought about this and Googled it and talked to people and reached out, and it's pretty crazy. But yeah, we're working on one of those solutions. We're technically playing around with all three. They're pretty far in development on the second solution. So that's where we're at. All right. Let's see. Andy, is tomorrow's Q&A an Apple-like one more thing? No, it is not. Definitely not. Tomorrow is just me having fun doing these things. And I was like, you know what? You know what it was? On the last one, there was like 5 comments with people, not the one I did yesterday real fast, but the last one that I actually uploaded. There was like 5 comments of people asking us to schedule one. So I was like, okay, yeah, we'll try that out. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, all right, Cash, I agree 100%. The upload process right now is a super pain in the ass. And I got to be honest with you guys, I do not know I've never uploaded an app to the App Store for, my God, what are we going on? 6 years, right? 65 million downloads, and I've never done it. Hey, but maybe that's a good thing. 2 ways of looking at that. All right, so let's see what else, guys. Yeah, and I agree, Mr. Zombie. So the thing is, what makes Buildbox special, in my opinion, right? It's not that you can make any game in the world, right? We understand the limitations better than anyone else in the world. What makes it special is the fact that it's really easy to use. So we're obviously going to attract a customer, what I've always called the prosumer customer. All right, so in the camera market, you have consumer cameras, which would be like point and click. I guess all of this market's dying now, but the point and click, and then you have like the really high-end fancy ones. But then what I get is the prosumers, the Panasonic GH4. It's a nice camera, and some would even say it's edging on the Pro, but it's not like a Canon, Mark D, like one of these huge $3,000 cameras. It's like in that market, but I know enough about it to buy and be in the prosumer market. And I've always thought of our customers as the prosumer developers. It's like they understand development, they kind of do it, it's like, I can, and I modeled it after what I do myself, right? Like I can look in Flash and kind of see what's going on. I can edit stuff. Great editor, right? Really bad like at coding stuff. And I actually did code in high school, knew some C++, but just enough to get in trouble. Like, I'm not going to make anything cool. Mr. Zombie, this is fun. All right? And, all right, here we go. Honest with the nudes. Oh, man, you're killing me. That's hysterical. Okay, so let's see. Boom, boom. Where are we? Is there a chance of a Publisher Elite weekly-like product that will be more publicly available and affordable? I'm going to be honest with you, Samuel, probably not. As I announced with Publisher Weekly, I'm raising the price of Publisher Elite. Totally understand that's not going to be for everyone, 1,000%, right? So what I would like to do instead is, and what we are going to work on, is more stuff like this, more helping the community, having Zach, the new guy that we hired, who's great, man. This guy's just been on fire. Really enjoyed working with him. He's worked really close with me, helping you guys, making more videos, doing all that kind of stuff, and talking about it publicly. But the problem with the hands-on stuff, like Publisher Weekly and Publisher Elite, is it's very intensive. Danny, I think he's worked 60 hours this week with Publisher Weekly. Publisher Elite, I just got done today working on 2 games and going over it. So it's just, you can't pile on more people. Right? They're both really limited. So, so unfortunately, it's very difficult to scale that, right? From a business standpoint, it's probably not the smartest business move to make because it's very, very difficult to scale. So you have to kind of charge a lot for it or, it's not going to even, pay the bills and be worth doing. Multiplayer games. Ben says, who wants multiplayer games? I'll raise my hand on that one, Ben. I would absolutely love multiplayer games. So I'll tell you how we're going to do it. And we are going to do it. It's just not priority, all right? And what makes something priority is the fact that it starts taking over the market and it gets really, really important to do. And we feel like we're missing out. We've been really, I'm going to share my whole plan with you guys soon. I'm working on a blog post. I'm working on it for a while. I'm talking about the future of Buildbox and the plan for 3.0. And I'll just tell you like the 2-second version of it now. So with each release, we've had a market we wanted to take over, okay? And so with Buildbox 1, it was the minimal games market. That's why I made Phases. It got published with Ketchup, the first game ever made with Buildbox, published with Ketchup. This was before Ketchup was really huge, right? And it did. I think everyone here will agree it absolutely took over the minimal games market. More minimal games made with Buildbox 1 during that time period than any other software. And this is a pretty common strategy for a software company. You don't want to try to go and say, I'm going to take over the console market when you first start. It's not going to work out for you, right? You want to pick a small market, cover up that market, then get a little bit bigger one, a little bit bigger. And that's been our plan all along. So with Buildbox 2, we saw the success of Color Switch, which was made at the very end of Buildbox 1. We saw that they started expanding this game out, right? That they had all these game modes. And then me and Nick around the launch started talking about what is the focus here? What market do we want to take over? It's not really minimal games we need to expand. And so we chose the publisher market, the published games market. And as you guys know, we've had over 100 games that have either been featured by Apple or broken the top 100. I think 75% of those is published. I think it's safe to say we haven't had more published games than Unity, but we have had more published games than every other game builder out there combined on mobile. All right, so success in my eyes. I feel pretty good about it. So then we move on to the next phase and Buildbox 3. And that's what I'll talk about. And we've had a plan for this since the beginning. And it's a big one. I kind of call this internally at the company a coming out party. This is like what we wanted to build in the beginning, but we knew it would be impossible from a technical standpoint, from a financial standpoint, and also from a market standpoint, right? We just saw a major company come out recently with a new game development kit they're giving away. It's really nice, and they're not getting a good hold on the market. It's difficult to do that. So that's been the game plan. It's worked out phenomenally well so far, and I think we'll continue to see that with Buildbox 3.0. Now, why am I telling you that? Because you're asking about multiplayer. Now, when I saw these IO games starting to take off, I thought that, oh my God, we're about to miss this. Like, we have to get it in now. And we're a small enough company where we can work really fast and move in a direction if we need to. And when I saw like 2 of those take off, I was like, oh my God, Nick, we really got to look at this. So we started the groundwork of figuring out how to do it. The initial thing I was going to do, you get an API key from Amazon, and then you would spend money on your own multiplayer traffic and have to put that in there. But then we decided, I think the way to do it is a user basis, like some other game engines do as well. So depending on how many users, it just scales up, and you can we handle all the infrastructure, everything, and then you just pay us, and that's what pretty much every other major company out there is doing. So we have game plan for it, but then something interesting happened. Everyone quit. The IO games just kind of died out. Paper IO came out, and I was like, oh my God, here it comes again. But that game's not even online. It's fake. You can go in airplane mode, play it all day. So with that said, 3.0 is focusing on a couple different markets. And the first market is not required to go online. The second market after that will be, and it's definitely something that we'll be doing. So it's in the plan, but it's just not quite yet. We have something, what I feel is more important to the soul in the creation of video games first. All right, so let's see here. But if you want to make games without coding, I think I went down too far. Ben, compared to other software, Buildbox is pretty cheap. Thank you. I don't hear that often, but I think so too. So that's what we tried to do. All right, so Tyler Schwab, if you buy Buildbox, can you cancel it after a month? No, and we actually we flip-flopped a little bit on this. So we had, for a long time, in our end-user license agreement, and all this technical license agreement stuff's boring, so I'm not going to stick around and talk about this too long. But we had in our license agreement that it was a 12-month contract, and then I wanted to test taking that off, and so we took it off for a while. And then to prepare for the future of having a free version, you have to have a contract, because what will happen is people will use a free version, and then they will just go and buy your software and do whatever they want to do and then cancel it. That's why Unity, I'm pretty sure, they haven't told me this, but I'm assuming that's why they also have one, a contract as well. So you have, when you buy Buildbox, you got 14 days. You can check it out, and then if you don't like it, let us know. And we have like a week grace period or something like that in there. Natalie, the billing manager, handles that. Honestly, I don't. But yeah, so that's the deal on that. It is 2 a.m. in the morning. Krizik. Well, buddy, I appreciate you hanging out. All right, so let's see, my friend. Buildbox as a product is an amazing differentiator. Did I pronounce that right, Andy? Enabling non-programmers to realize dreams. But the other big key part is the level of support, which is second to none. I agree with that, man. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Sean is an absolute amazing dude. He has been just a godsend for support. So that's awesome. And you know what's funny, Andy, if we can just quit putting you, I was going, like, I go through support and read and make sure everything's cool. And I found your ticket where you kept getting put into the sequence of a new customer, like, over and over. I actually asked him about that like 2 days ago. I was like, guys, did you get Andy sorted out? That's embarrassing. He keeps on getting the same welcome email from me. So I thought that was really funny. Hugh, the developer, Trey, we need an autosave feature. Yeah, I think that would be a good feature to have. And I'll tell you what else I would really like to have is I use a software called Ableton Live to create music. And Ableton has this feature where if it crashes, next time you open it, it will figure out through undo history exactly what you did and just go do 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 and get you right back to the point. And it's like so solid. Now listen, they're on version 8. We're on version 2, right? So we're getting there. But that's what I want to do for saving and undoing that kind of stuff. And I agree. I think that's really important. We need the option of holding items in platformer games. All right, so this is great, man. So that's what's important to you. And I totally understand that. The game you're making, that's important to you. And, you know, as the guy behind making major decisions in this company, it's really tough because everyone has this super important thing that they want. And I'm not negating the fact that yours is important. It is important. It's very important, okay? So, but the thing is, everyone has that. So we had to create a way to let anyone pretty much do whatever they want. And that's where the node system comes on board. And I'll show that one more time. That's where we're doing this. Imagine you have components, right? You go in here and you have a component. You know, you add a spawner and that kind of stuff. And again, the node system, you'll create those components in 2D and be able to drag it around and stuff. It's really cool. We'll be showing you guys soon. It's not going to be too long before we show that stuff. All right, guys. So the stream seems like it's working really good this time. Thank you for helping me test this. I'm going to go here in a second. I'll look at a couple more questions real quick, though. Flashy Dean made more than $10,000 with Buildbox. That's awesome, dude. That's really cool. Yeah, Pro Tools, exactly. So, you know, we will get to that point. And we are, let me tell you, Hugh the dev, not sure how long you've been around. We have come a very long way already with Buildbox 1. That launch was a tough one, I'll be honest with you guys. That was a tough one. It worked great on Mac and, well, at least for us, but on a specific Mac. But the original 1.0 didn't work as well on PC. But anyway, we got through it, and we will do that 100%. All right, so the time of the stream tomorrow, I'm not sure in Central Time, but it is 10 a.m. Pacific Time. And I think Central Time's like a couple hours that way. So, or no, that way. Yeah, you're in the future, bro. So I guess it's 10:30. All right, so you would be 11:30. You'd be 12:30. Lunchtime. It's lunchtime. Awesome, Flashy Dean featured on the App Store. That's awesome. If you are not in the All-Star page, email Tiana at buildbox.com so we can feature you on there. So if anyone had a game featured or something like that, and you're not on our All-Star page, please email her because that's her job. All right. Yeah, so, all right, last one. Jingy, do I need a publisher to make money? That's a tough question. So here's what I'll say to that, all right? If you want to build a consistent business, I believe you need to publish. Go with a publisher, okay? Is it possible to make money without a publisher? Definitely. This 1-bit return game, that guy made some money for sure, I'm assuming, on that. It got featured in like 50 countries. Is it the best business model? In my opinion, probably not. Is there a situation where I would tell someone, look, don't go with a publisher? Honestly not, because the only situation I can think of is if you were really great at making super, super unique games with really cool art styles, like this 1-bit return, if you guys have never seen that. 1-bit return, let me show you real quick what this looks like. And I'm not sure how this will look on the stream, but let's try that out. And so this game is really cool. And this was made by a Buildbox customer. It was featured in like 50 countries. So, I mean, if you make a game like this that's really unique, super, super polished, then you can probably get featured to, you know, a few times. And I think you can do that over and over, because once Apple features a game, they tend to feature more from that same developer. All right. So, yeah, I think that you definitely can do that. But I think you'll still make more money if you just put a little bit more effort and you try to get a really good relationship with Fortify, Voodoo, or Ketchup, or Nanovation, or Absolute, one of these publishers. Because then, as you're working on a game, you can start working with them and be like, hey, so we're working on this. What do you guys think? That's what we do, right? We're working on a game. We'll shoot it over to Ketchup, be like, hey, just a little teaser. And we make it fun. You know, we make sure everything looks really, really tight before we do that. And they like it. And we get some feedback from them. And, it kind of continues the success. So I think working with publishers is smarter. I much rather split the money and have a bigger pie, more people using the software or the game rather. So yeah, I'm a fan. All right, guys. So that's it. It's 5:30. About to get out of here. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. So that was fun. Thanks for testing this out with me, guys. I really appreciate it.